This has to be some of the craziest news we've gotten all offseason, with it coming out today that Sam Bennett might be a future Maple Leaf and Arber Xheaj was almost a Toronto Maple Leaf. I'm going to break all this stuff down for you guys coming up on this episode of Hat-Trick HQ. But before we get into it, we got to say we're on the road for 5,000 subscribers here before the end of the summer. We're almost there, so if you're not subscribed already, you want to keep up to date on everything that's happening around the NHL, make sure down below and hit that subscribe button. Both that said, let's jump right into this crazy news we have today. And the first topic is Xheaj was almost a Leaf, and obviously any Leaf fan knows Arber Xheaj from his time on the Montreal Canadiens as the tough guy, as the, sheriff, as they call him in Montreal. And to think that he was almost a Leaf is absolutely insane with the rivalry he has had against the Toronto Maple Leafs during their games, laying hits, having fights. I mean, just think if this guy was in a Leafs jersey. That would just be insane. It almost looks weird to see him in a Leafs jersey when I was making this thumbnail. But as we take a look here, this is from Leafs latest on X, Twitter, whatever you like to call it. They say Habs defenseman Arber Xheaj says he received an offer from the Leafs after going undrafted, but chose to wait it out a few more days until his favorite team, the Montreal Canadiens, called. So if Arber Xheaj didn't wait those couple of days, we could be seeing him right now in a Toronto Maple Leafs jersey, which is still crazy to say out loud. I mean, can you imagine having this guy on the blue line for the Toronto Maple Leafs? He's such an electric defenseman, and even now, like, seeing him play in Montreal and be the type of defenseman he is, great on the defensive end of things. He's not afraid to mix it up when he has to. He's a tough physical player. He's a great defenseman. He's great. He knows his role. He knows what he has to do to be successful in that position. But to think he was almost a Leafs defenseman is absolutely crazy to think. Can you imagine if Arber Xheaj said, hey, I'm going to take the first offer that's coming my way. I'm not going to wait and hope that Montreal calls, because if they don't, maybe I don't make my dream come true and be an NHL player. But it worked out for the best for Xheaj, obviously now being a fan favorite in Montreal, but this could have easily happened for the Toronto Maple Leafs as well. I mean, he would have been a great addition to this team. Do I think he would be getting as many minutes, or if we would even know his name if he was on the Toronto Maple Leafs? Probably not, because they've been deep on that defensive position. Maybe he comes in and does what he does in Montreal, in Toronto, but nobody can, predict that. Nobody has a crystal ball that can see that alternate reality, you know what I mean? But I just think it was a great piece of news that I thought was absolutely insane that I had to share with you guys today, because it could have happened and the ball could have flipped and he could have been a Leaf and we could be talking about the sheriff on the Toronto Maple Leafs blue line, which is absolutely absurd to think. But I want to hear your guys' opinions on this down below in the comment section. I know you guys are going to have a lot of fun things to read down there about this whole Arber Xheaj turning down an offer to his most hated rival in the Toronto Maple Leafs to go to his favorite team, the Montreal Canadiens, which, it all worked out for him. I love seeing Arber Xheaj. He's such a fun player to watch, and I'm glad that he's having a successful career in Montreal. But I'm going to hear your guys' thoughts down below in the comment section. But we're going to get into the second topic of the video today, which is Sam Bennett a future Leaf? And yes, there is multiple reports and crazy news. Again, crazy saying Sam Bennett is going to be a future Leaf as well, because he has become a public enemy number one in Toronto over these last couple of seasons by just being that guy on the floor of the Panthers that, they hate to go up against. And he's a guy who's not afraid to throw the body. He's not afraid to mix it up as well. But he's also pretty good on the offensive side of things as well. But if we just take a look here at this, this was an interview where he talked about people coming up to him as Leafs fans, since he does live in the Toronto area during the offseason. He said, it's funny though, because I'm here all summer. I walk by and fans see me all the time. They actually always have like something to say. And he said, they hate me, but they always end up with saying, I want you to be a Leaf one day. So maybe the Leafs fans are getting to Sam Bennett. Maybe he wants to go to a place where the fans want to accept him and embrace him into the player that he is and just be that pest guy for the Toronto Maple Leafs, which would be awesome to see. Obviously, we all know Sam Bennett is going to be a UFA after this season, so who knows if the Leafs can get him in on a cheap deal. This would be a great guy to bring in to fill out that bottom six, have a little bit of extra grit down there, a guy who's not afraid to, like I said, get into those dirty areas and, you know, win those battles along the boards, laying hits, just being that guy, because that is his game. And this could really benefit the Toronto Maple Leafs, because if the fans want to see Sam Bennett in a Toronto Maple Leafs jersey, I'm sure he's going to make that happen, because why wouldn't you want to go to a team where the fans would love to see you in their jersey? You know what I mean? That would just be perfect situation for him as well. Also, living in the area as well would be cool for him, you know, as well, to be at home while also playing with the Toronto Maple Leafs. But if we just take a look at his stats here, obviously, we all know Sam Bennett. In the last 3 seasons, we'll just look down. He had 49 points in 21-22, and then 40-41 in the last 2 seasons, where he had 20 goals, 21 assists last year, which are great numbers for Sam Bennett. He's a great guy for the bottom six who can come in, he can score goals, he can also get assists, he's going to contribute offensively wherever he is in this lineup, and it would just be a great decision for Brad Shilling and the Leafs to bring this guy in. But the big numbers over here as well are the hits. I mean, 119, they had 150, then he had 173 last season in that Stanley Cup winning, season, and I think this guy would just be a great fit for the Toronto Maple Leafs, a guy that they kind of really need. He's more of like an offensive Ryan Reeves, I would say. That was what I would say that his type of style of game is. He's not afraid to hit you, he's not afraid to lay out, he's not afraid to give you a few bruises, but he can also contribute on the offensive side as well by putting up points, by putting up assists, by putting up goals. He can do everything. He's not going to be getting you a goal a game or anything like this, but this is a guy who could easily spark or inject some offense into this bottom six, and would be a great guy to pair up with young and up-and-comers like Easton Cowan and Fraser Mitten. Just having that gritty guy on that line to protect those guys would be cool as well. I'd love to see him in a Leafs jersey, but one thing we also did get from Sam Bennett from this interview was some insight on OEL, Oliver Ekman-Larsson. This is what he had to say about him. He said, he's a really good pickup for the Leafs for sure. I was honestly shocked with how good he is. He said, obviously, everyone knew how good he was earlier in his career in Arizona, but last year, he was probably one of our unsung heroes of the year. How steady he was, how good he is, and he's a dog in the playoffs too. He'll get in there. He's got a little nasty to his game as well. So yeah, absolutely huge pickup for us last year, and he's a big part of us winning. So hearing from Sam Bennett, a guy who's just coming off that Stanley Cup win, that Oliver Ekman-Larsson played a huge factor into them winning the Stanley Cup is great news to hear as a Toronto Maple Leafs fan, because to hear from a fellow player, a fellow teammate of his, that he's not afraid to, have a little bite in his game. He's not afraid to back down from those as well, but he can also inject a lot of offense from the blue line side of things, because he's such a good offensive player. And just hearing this from Sam Bennett is music to Leafs fans' ears, because Leafs fans need guys who can get it done in the playoffs and can be a great player in the playoffs. And we've seen this with OEL last year, so it's only going to make sense that he will do it again this year. And it's just great news to hear that. A lot of people were skeptical of this. A lot of people hated the signing. A lot of people really liked it. I was one of the ones who really liked that signing. So it's just great to see Sam Bennett say this about OEL, because it's going to mean a lot to Toronto Maple Leafs fans going into this season. I think we're going to see a great season from OEL here, and hopefully we'll get a reunion with Bennett and OEL next year. That'd be pretty cool as well. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts down below in the comment section. What do you think about Sam Bennett coming to Toronto? What do you think about what he had to say about OEL? Love to hear your guys' thoughts on that down below in the comment section as well. But we're going to get everybody's favorite topic here. If you've been watching us for a while, you know what it is. It's comment of the day. And comment of the day today goes to Summer Fling. First off, I gotta say, what a name. Summer Fling had a little chuckle at that one for sure. He said, bring JVR back, would be great on the third or fourth line. I definitely agree. I think it doesn't hurt to bring him back at all. I mean, I know a lot of people in the comment section were saying he's slow. He's not the JVR he was when he was in Toronto last time. but I do think that having this veteran experience throughout that bottom six would be great as well. He might not be the fastest player on the ice, but he's definitely got the smarts and definitely has the ability to bring back, some points for the Toronto Maple Leafs in this signing. I think it would be great. I would love to see JVR back and retire with the Leafs. It'd be cool. Very cool to see. But I appreciate the comments, Summer Fling, and if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure down below, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're on the road for 5,000 subscribers. Like I said, if you want to stay up to date on all the craziness that's happening in the NHL coming up this new season, make sure down below, hit that subscribe button, comment on the video. You might be featured on the next comment of the day, just like our buddy Summer Fling was today. And if you want to check out a video we did the other day, it'll be popping up on your screen right now. But as always, I've been your host, KC. We'll catch you in the next one.